Good afternoon, Patriot pals. Thank you for joining me. How are you? Have a good day, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, now we will come to today's news. And TD's stage for himself. Alec Baldwin out there whining about how when Trump criticized him, he took years off his life. He's in the midst of his own scandal right now, where the FBI actually has concluded that precisely he did pull the trigger. And he is responsible for that death on the set of Rust, even though he continued to not be cooperative or continues to work to ensure that the truth isn't revealed. Alec Baldwin is an absolute certified nutcase. This is the same guy who went on SNL for years during the Trump administration to sit there and make fun of Trump, and then Trump comes out and hits Alec Baldwin, and all of a sudden these Hollywood freaks are absolutely the worst. Alec Baldwin says Trump's comments over the fatal Rush shooting has taken years of his life. Oh man, this guy is such a sink to ammonius. Just ban Alec Baldwin is only concerned about Alec Baldwin after he shot and killed 42-year-old Elena Hutchinsons and injured 48-year-old Joel Susu on a movie set in Santa Fe, Mexico last year. October. Baldwin told CNN that the shooting has cost him 5 jobs, and distress from Trump's comments on the tragedy has taken years of his life. I've got fired from their job yesterday, he said. I was all set to go to a movie, jump on a plane. I've been thinking about talking with these guys for a month. They told me yesterday, we don't want to film with you because of this. He also said that he doesn't believe he will face any charges after he killed a woman last year. I'm pretty confident neither one of them should ever work in film set again. He said, I sincerely believe investigators are going to say that this was an accident. It's tragic. Baldwin pulled the trigger on the set of The Rest according to FBI analysis. However, he blamed the producer's death on Hannah Good. Arrest read the armor and profit assistant on the son of Ross. So one put a light bullet in the gun and should have done better. Baldwin said that was Good. Arrest reach job. Her job was to look at the ammunition and put into dummy round or the blank round. And there wasn't supposed to be any live rounds on set. There are 2 people who didn't do what they were supposed to do yet. I'm not sitting there saying, I want them to go to prison or I want their lives to be hell. I don't want that. But I want everybody to know that those are the people that are responsible for what happened. Pretty sure the person who pulled the trigger is responsible, at least that's how it's always perceived in the media. And of course you absolutely crap bag libs out there in Hollywood, right? Why didn't Guterres check the bullet? Why did Halls obey her? Baldwin continue? Why did he give me the gun? Why didn't he check? Why didn't he tell the crew? It was a cold gun. Alec Baldwin is being sued by Elena Hutchinson's family for wrongful death, which he should be. Hutchison family said Alec Baldwin never checked the gun before using it. Yes, but of course, it's Trump's fault somehow that he is just out there having all of this turmoil in his life. He can't own up to his own mistakes, which obviously, unfortunately, and tragically cost the life of another individual on his movie set. The same man who he railed about guns and how guns need to be banned, had no problem without doing basic gun safety checks on his own weapon that he was wielding, and that he sat there and flippantly used in a horrific tragedy that took place on that set. And Alec Baldwin knows how guilty he actually is. All this that he's reflecting back on to other people. It's because he feels that guilt within himself. And, because we know that Joe Biden is a wall, he's incognito, just like he was able to get $81 million by campaigning from his basement and doing nothing. We're supposed to believe that he is running the country even though he's never present. He got sick again. Got better Quebec for one day, went on vacation, came back to do one thing, went on vacation again. Yet supposedly, he's actively working for the people. Who's really working? And we know that not working for the people. But who is really working? Who's really behind the scenes? Well, let's talk about newly discovered yet again, Chinese influence in the Oval Office in White House, courtesy of the middleman, Hunter Biden. This is just incredible. Once again, it's not shocking. It would be shocking on your under any of the time, but there's so much revelations coming out of this laptop from hell. Just put this in the fall of oh my goodness. Okay. Last month, the Biden administration had warned of this. Chinese Communist Party front group called the Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries and State Legislative Leaders Foundation. It's one of those long badly translated things when you buy something from China. I try not to do that. But you all know I'm talking about you buy something China and you get some instruction. You know how to use a razor. Razor to use package opening with hands. Carefully use cover off, take off razor, cut yourself not, I'm talking about, but this is not a joke. So the Biden administration last month warned of this Chinese Communist Party front group that's seeking to co-opt state leaders as part of Beijing's sprawling foreign influence operation. And here's what we're learning in the last few days of new things from emails from Hunter Biden's laptop. It actually shows that Hunter Biden and his business partners helped the organization gain a foothold in the United States. While Joe Biden was vice president, the same organization. That last month, Joe Biden's regime warned as a Chinese Communist Party front group. You can't make this stuff up. In 2015, Biden's partners lobbied the State Department to publicly approve a partnership between the Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries and State Legislative Leaders Foundation. That's a mouthful. A nonprofit group that hosts forums for state legislators and corporate leaders. Hunter's team portrayed the initiative as a boon for a U.S.-Chinese relations email show that they hope that the U.S. government's recognition of the partnership would help the foundation establish an office in Beijing. Now, it's not really clear why they thought this would help. But the emails show that they thought it would help, and guess what? They got Obama's administration's blessing to do it. As matter of fact, the lobbying campaign proved wildly successful on all fronts. After a September 2015 meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, President Barack Obama endorsed the partnership between the state legislative leaders. Months later, fortuitously, Hunter Biden's company finalized its multi-million-dollar deal with Harvest Management. Okay, so everyone got what they wanted. But the Washington Free Beacon is reporting that the Biden administration warned last month of this Chinese Communist Party front group looking to county-opt state leaders as part of their sprawling foreign influence operation via one of the same vehicles that was approved by pressure from Hunter Biden during the vice presidency of Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Can make this stuff up as a lot of detail, but that's all you need to know. So who exactly is behind the scenes and running things while Joey is in his basement? Well, I've named one of the names. Let's look into this before I do that. Okay, so actually the first article with you from the Washington Free Beacon about emails from Hunter Biden's laptop, showing that he used his influence to get this CCP front organization to get the blessing of Obama. And last month, Joey's people were sounding the alarm on this same organization can't make this stuff up. Joe Biden's staff continues trumpeting the president's legislative victories but have allowed the president to disappear into his August vacation. Earlier this week, Biden appeared at the White House briefly to sign his massive green energy and healthcare bill, but has not taken questions from reporters at the White House or appeared for any interviews to promote his agenda. He has spent most of his August out of sight as he spent a week at Kiowa Island before returning to Delaware for another week off. These are things that we've covered here and I've gone through this. So this week, the president only emerged from his home in Delaware to golf once with his brother James on Friday, and once with his deceased son Bose Biden's father-in-law, Ron Oliveira. So while he's away, his staff has been taking the lead. And the people who have been in charge and who are running the show, and don't want him even around to muddle things, and I'll show you a quote that they're dead serious about this, as Ron Klain and Susan Rice. I've told you all week that Susan Rice is running this thing. Earlier in the week I told you that the operation against President Trump at Mar-a-Lago had the fingerprints and the air of a Susan Rice operation. That was the opinion of a political candidate. And I've mentioned Susan Rice several times before the weekend, and we have here on Saturday, this Breitbart report, Ron Klain and Susan Rice take lead as Joe Biden disappears. White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain breeds Political's playbook with their August messaging effort, which is underway without the president. I definitely get more done when he's not here. No question about it, Klain actually bragged. He defended hiding Biden from the public, as a president has racked up a record 150 days from the White House in his home state of Delaware. Just like during the campaign, when he did come out, he got 7 people in little circles. When he didn't come out, there was no need for him to come out. The operation was running without him muddying it, and other people were running the show as the same people who were running, and were part of the first 2 terms of Barack Hussein Obama, while we are living through figuratively, literally is the 3rd term of Obama, and his people, especially Susan Rice, are the forefront running it. I don't think it's true. He's out there less than his predecessors claimed, said that's a lie. So no miracle lie. Anyway, quote, I just think Donald Trump created an expectation of a president creating a she's storm every single day. Now, of course, one of the things that President Trump did do was when he was on vacation, as he would be on vacation or doing something else and he would always talk to the press. Oh, he's talked to the press, always want to talk to the press. Joe Biden won't do that. He needs to read teleprompter, have cue cards, and tell him the most basic things like smile, don't act like an idiot, and then who he's supposed to call on to ask questions. So he can answer questions from prepared statements and teleprompters. Clint appeared on CNN and MSNBC boasting of Biden's recently passed multi-billion-dollar spending bill and given the president credit as the price of gasoline dropped below the record highs from earlier in the summer. Clean struggles explain why Biden's approval numbers remain in the 30s despite his action on these bills. Once again, they don't care. They're getting their agenda. And they have a frontman, Joseph Biden, who doesn't care about his legacy, doesn't care about anything. He's just happy that his asset's not in jail, and that he hasn't been busted for being a puppet of the CCP. And not when everyone in his family is getting off scot-free. He is a total tool, and his dementia adds to the ease of him doing whatever they want him to do. Incredible. Susan Rice, Biden's director of the Domestic Policy Council, has emerged with a messaging strategy. And what is her messaging strategy? What is she doing running? What is she running out of the Biden White House while he is gone? She is running a strategy about the rise in anger from the country from Trump supporters after the FBI raided former President Donald Trump saw him at Mar-a-Lago. These people are running the country into the ground with bad policies, with lawlessness, but they're also working on the messaging. Seriously, this is what Glenn Beck to claim. This is what he said, I think is going to take a while for people don't appreciate that, to react to that in reference to what Biden has done. I think we are going to see that people respond to leadership of President Biden. So he's in a 30s. But eventually people will come around and they're going to respond to the leadership of Biden. Clean and Rice are destroying the country from within. And giving credit to Biden, they don't care. He's the fall guy, the ultimate fall guy. Rice announced details of Biden's Unity Summit planned in September at the White House. You know it's going to be anything but unity because that's how the Democrats roll. Whatever they name it. It's the exact opposite. Susan Rice, his strategy is to paint Trump supporters as angry about the raid in Mar-a-Lago. Hate must have no safe harbor in America. She wrote on the White House website, knowing the summit would counter the corrosive effects of the hate-fueled violence on our democracy and public safety. You mean the hate-fueled violence coming from BLM Antifa know about the supposed Trump supporters who are upset because of the raid on his home? Described as Biden's behind-the-scenes powerbroker in the White House. Rice is a rumored successor to White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain. Should he leave his position? Also, signs point to staff continue to keep Biden away from reporter questions and interviews about his presidency ahead of the November midterm elections. And all things indicate that Susan Rice and Ron Klain will continue running the show and scripting the narrative, including making enemies of everyone who is not down with the Gestapo, Stasi, FBI, and the raid on Trump. These are dangerous Marxist, hardcore Marxists who are now openly running the show as they kick Biden to the curb, keep them in the basement or on vacation. CCP, Hunter Biden and other influence are running things through Joey at the Oval Office and have been since he was vice president, Chief of Staff Ron Klain and former Obama White, Susan Rice. Those are the behind-the-scenes players. Thanks for sticking around. Follow me daily. I will do my best to show you. There's a lot of information that shows what's going on. Remember where we go. 1.